Only evacuating the vaccinated. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, we're going to need it for this one. So, there's been a volcanic eruption in Soufriere Volcano on St. Vincent in the Caribbean. And what's quite shocking is that part of the evacuation process to provide safety for these people, no one's died yet, thank God, is to take them onto cruise ships. But they're going to be required to have a vaccination before they get on the cruise ships. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I enjoy the benefit of vaccines all the time. But it should be a choice for people. And, well, it shouldn't be done under duress. One could argue this is potentially a medical treatment or medical procedure done under duress. Sorry, we won't evacuate you. We won't take you away unless you have this procedure done. So let's have a look at this little clip here.
Feet into the sky, spewing ash for miles. Cruise ships are evacuating people from the island, but only those vaccinated against COVID.
And we can see there only those that have been vaccinated from COVID. Everyone are now, well, going to go on the cruise ships. So there has been a request for help. And let's have a look first at St. Vincent and Grenada, just so you know where it is. Here is the island, right here. Okay, it's in the Caribbean, north of Venezuela. We zoom in, we can see this is the island here. You've got the development on the southern side of the island. We're really stretching around the entire coast. Not so much on the north, a little bit here. A little bit here. We can see this is the volcano here. This is La Soufriere Volcano that has now erupted once again. So there's been a request for help. This is from the Consular General for St. Vincent and Grenades. Assistant request for St. Vincent and Grenades for the volcanic eruption. Now, I have blacked out the account details here. If you want to support them, I suggest you go and look for it through official channels. I found this on their Twitter. Contact them directly, guys. Okay? And it's probably best, actually, if you're going to send money rather than a third-party charity, you send it directly to the Consular General or the government there. But just check it out yourself to make sure it's right. Many of you have seen or watched the worldwide coverage of the disaster that unfolded yesterday on our mainland of St. Vincent with the eruption of our volcano La Soufriere. More than 30% of our population have now been displaced due to the evacuation orders for people living around the area of the volcano. This number will inevitably increase. Shelter in the form of schools, churches, community centers, and hotels, as well as cruise ships, has been brought in. While the authorities, including the National Emergency Management Organization, is busily responding to this unfolding situation, it is recognized that it is also important to prepare to assist our families and loved ones as the need arises, including post-disaster recovery. Your support at this time will ensure that persons directly affected will receive the critical support needed to get their lives back to some level of normalcy when the all clear is given. We continue to monitor the developments on the ground and will provide support where required. And of course, the resources of the nation is very limited as it's a developing country, and they're calling for any assistance. Now, how is the media covering this, everyone? Let's jump here and look at the ABC. So, the Caribbean's St. Vincent Island volcano erupts after 16,000 people have been evacuated, everyone. This isn't a small amount. You can have a look at there. Look at all the burning. So, an explosive eruption of the La Soufriere volcano in the Caribbean has rocked the island of St. Vincent following mandatory evacuation orders from the local government. So the government is forcing you to evacuate. More than 16,000 residents had been evacuated as volcanic activity increased ahead of the eruption, which took place on Friday morning local time. Evacuees have been given temporary homes on cruise ships and in safer parts of the island. Emergency management officials said the ash column was about 6 kilometers high and that the ash was headed east in the Atlantic Ocean. However, heavy ash falls also was reported in communities around the volcano, said Kuzlia Joseph, director of the University of the West Indies Seismic Center. You can see the large volcanic ash cloud there. More explosions could occur. she said, adding that it was impossible to predict whether any potential upcoming explosions would be bigger or smaller than the first ones. There were no immediate reports of casualties. The volcano last erupted in 1979 and had a previous eruption in 1902 that killed some 1,600 people. Everyone. The evacuees told to get vaccinated. The new eruption followed mandatory evacuation orders issued on Thursday for people who lived near the volcano. The pandemic could hamper evacuation efforts. Prime Minister Rafael Gonzalez said in a press conference that people had to be vaccinated if they went aboard a cruise ship or were granted temporary refuge on another island. So the government forces you to evacuate, everyone. You've got the volcano on your island here is erupting. If you want to go to another island, if you want to go on a cruise ship, they're requiring you to undertake this procedure. Would you say that's under duress? He said 2 Royal Caribbean cruise ships were expected to arrive by Friday and a third one in the coming days, as well as 2 Carnival cruise ships by Friday. Not everything is going to be perfect, but if we all cooperate, we will come through this stronger than ever, he said. He noted that he was asking other Caribbean governments to accept people's IDs if they could not have a passport. This is an emergency situation, and everyone understands that, he said. He added that he highly recommended those who opted to go to shelters in St. Vincent and Grenades, an island chain of more than 100,000 people, be vaccinated against COVID. So, at this stage, he only recommends that you needed to go to a shelter on your own island. At least they're not locking them out of there. But you've got to understand, this is the step here, guys. How can you refuse evacuation to people? Evacuation plans enacted. Emergency management teams have been going out to communities in the red zone and providing transportation to safer locations, including pre-arranged shelters, according to Dr. Joseph. They know who doesn't have transportation because all of this has been canvassed before, she said, adding that those who board the cruise ships would not be taken elsewhere but would remain there for an unspecified period of time. So they're just afraid that these cruise ships are pretty much, they seem like they're designed to spread illness just with the food and everything on them. By late Thursday evening, shelters were filling up as a string of car lights making their way to safer ground twinkled through the darkened mountains. John Renton, a school principal who was in charge of one shelter, said in a phone interview that they had plenty of masks and other personal protective equipment but needed more cots. While talking, he was interrupted by a phone call from a government official asking about the state of things. We're over capacity, he responded, noting that the shelter could hold 75 people and was already filling up. The eruptions followed warnings from scientists. Government officials tweeted that the dome of the volcano located on the island's northern region could be seen glowing by nightfall on Thursday. The alert issued Wednesday followed days of seismic activity around Soufriere. Mr. Gonzalez urged people to remain calm and orderly. I don't want you panicking, he said. That is the worst thing to do. Scientists alerted the government about a possible eruption after noting a type of seismic activity at 3 a.m. on Thursday that indicated magma was on the move close to the surface, the doctor said. Things are escalating pretty quickly, she said of the volcanic activity, adding that it was impossible to provide an exact forecast of what might happen in the next hours or days. And there you go. You can see the ash. It's already fallen down everywhere. A team from the seismic center arrived in St. Vincent in late December after the volcano had an effusive eruption. They have been analyzing the formation of a new volcanic dome, changes to its crater lake, seismic activity, and gas emissions, among other things. The Eastern Caribbean is home to other active volcanoes. 17 of the region's 19 live volcanoes are located on 11 islands, with the remaining 2 underwater near the island of Grenade, including one named Kikim Jenny, that have been active in recent years. The region's most active volcano in recent years has been Soufriere Hills in Montserrat, which has erupted continuously since 1995, destroying the capital of Plymouth and killing at least 19 people in 1997. So, there you go. That's the media's coverage to this, everyone. What are the solutions? What are the solutions to this? Well, it's very simple. We need to lobby leaders, politicians, public figures, anyone, to publicly condemn the requirement for medical procedures under duress. That's what we need to do. Because this is just the beginning. Not evacuating people or not allowing people access to this evacuation if they don't undergo this medical procedure and forcing that onto them. Where else can it go from there? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links on Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can support us by buying our merch or using Gold Pass or PayPal. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.